Good morning, all the listener and the MABA's friends. Right now, I'm going to give a short talk about recently my realizations of two sentences. I bring these two sentences together and use the Dharma observation to bring it out into deeper meaning. The first sentence is in Chinese, they call 时空身心不变. Translation, the changes of body, mind, and matter within times and space. So that is the principles of Dharma that we know the Dharma talking about for formation, existence, decay, and disappearance. This is the material. And biophysics, that is birth, aging, sickness, and death. This is a changing of biophysics. And mental, in our mind, arising, abiding, changing, and ceasing. That is the mind's processing of change in times and space. So this is the principle in the Dharma. We talk about things changing or talk about mind and body changing. And the second one I want to say is they have another profound meaning of teachings. This sentence is very important. Mind, Buddha, and the sentient beings are equal without differences. We found the laws of Dharma. The Buddha always mentioned this is called Dharma seal. All conditioned things are impermanent because of changing, impermanent changing, not a fit pattern, but large of condition that never expect it will happen. It's called impermanent changing because changing is very fine in the time and space. So in the observation of common mindset, it's not easy to cover and observe fully. So the impermanent changings of things and body, mind, always make us sharp, never predicted from time to time in the space. The second thing is all things lack inherent existence. This is a profound discovery by the Buddha. He transformed himself, body and mind, into something more stabilized, unshakable change. He found that is what the truth is. Nibbana is perfect tranquility. So the Buddha and the living beings of us that we practice not self until the mature that not self mindset, then we turn this mindset into perfect tranquility. So this is a Dharma law that the Buddha found. Back to number third, right now I will discuss it again. Thing changing, mind and body changing. So it's not just material and biophysics changing. But in Buddhism, we talk about changing, then we name it as a samsara, or the pattern of changing in the circle. So this circle will include something that we can see their quality and we can see their pattern. pattern of body, pattern of mind, and pattern of existence in the space. So this is what Buddhism talk about. Samsara in the 6 realms actually is 5 realms, and Asura will be existent in all these 5 of the pattern. So first 3 I want to say is 3 lower realms: hell being, hungry ghosts, and animal. So hell being is lower being that carry a lot of wrong view, negative thought, unwholesome action, and his fruit to make this pattern according to the cause and effect. So if you do a lot of investigation in Buddhism, talk about samsara and the samsara's being, then we know that the Buddha always want us as a Buddhist, as a followers, concerned about not going into the lower 3 realms. This is called animal, hell being, and hungry ghosts. Human beings is wholesome, responsibility, and loving kindness. So that is the qualities of wholesome. Practice in Buddhism means from that quality, we need to upgrade it into no hatred, no anger, and no harm. Like that, we need to observe it and stop our mind in this great anger and harm in order that we can bring more purification into the human mind accordingly to the freedom of human obstacle and hindrances. So human, that is a human quality, should be not causing into conflict, fight, and war, because that is the 3 lower realms activity and thinking. If human beings more purifying, then we call them God beings in Indian culture. So gods means not only loving kindness, but compassion. So compassion as a quality, so his mind will be empathy and sympathies to other beings, so that practice of renunciation, practice of transforming human desire, God beings is state himself in the form realm, not in the desire realm. So form realm is more in the material form that's simplifying, but not in that burning and desire. So this is a difference that what I want to say a little bit. And if you know something, but you're not willing, not enlightened to make change, that is called Asura. Sura means confidence. A means not confidence. Means you don't see you need to be changed. So either of these 5 in the realms, you know something is more better, more freedom, more good quality and wholesome, but you don't wish to change. You have that kind of stubborn, we call that asura. So for me to see my own character and quality of life in the past, when I was 20, become monks, a lot of stubbornness, a lot of what we call that unwholesome perception in the mind that we thought, that's me. Ego selves don't want to make change. Even though we know that unwholesome is not good, it will bring you side effect, it will bring you stress, it will bring you harm and not happy. But the stubborn is there because ignorance is called asura pattern. So until right now, it become more alert and see that quality make freedom. If that quality is stuck there and become obstacle and hindrance, then you lost your freedom. So because of this, seeing more profound and deep into the Dharma, so Asura's pattern in the mindset have a lot of changing. So I see that become professional in monastic of myself in this life, it really benefits. Move forward. We change it right now. After talking about samsara, and the next circle is mind samsara. Mind samsara is another very unique teaching in Buddhism. Buddhism talk about mind have nothing, empty mind. But empty mind have a lot of things that changing. That is the thought, a lot of thought, a lot of mental fabrications inside, a lot of memory inside. So mind have a circle. So this circle is very profound, and we see in the life how to practice mind, especially Chinese Zen Buddhism, Chan Buddhism. Chan is talking about practice the mind. So very direct dealing with this inner of mind. Then we found a normal person without enlightened, so his mindset is here, ignorant, volition, formation, and conscious. This is how his memory and mindful is. And then later on, he have any processing that is from contact, feeling, craving, clinging, existence, birth, aging, and death. That become the mind worry, mind processing, all there is in that changing. Not many people can put his mind into these links. I call that 5 links. So in 5 links, it's different from the lines of life, 10 links. So 10 links means from conscious, name and form, so on, come to old, sick, and death. This is called 10 links. It's all about our life. So normal people that we know the Dharma, and understand the teaching, but still in these 10 rings of circle, the mind is moving. Until one day, we simplify this 10 rings and make our memory more focusing in reasonable perception of the mind and body, then we are come into practice. So what is the practice means? I name it filings of the mindset. So this is the filings of mindset from contact, feeling, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, and existence. This is the filings as a normalized processing into samsara. And filings ceases samsara is from here start. Contact, feeling, six sense base, name and form, to conscious. This is called filings of ceasing, or we call that filings of freedom. If someone that concerned about contact, feelings, six sense, name and form, and conscious, he is working backwards from the samsara. Practice of mindfulness training, especially in the four satipatthana or four foundation of mindfulness, we always concern about contact, feeling, and six sense base. In order that we mature our mindset in the contact, feeling, and six sense base right now and here, observe it, and then start it more concentrate into silence, ceases all this formation that processing in the mind, and bring the mindfulness right now and here, then we may possible to see name and form, or nama and rupa, in the conscious. So in these circles of mind, the break gate is nama, rupa, and conscious. Without really silent mind, your observation cannot go through this easy, because of once you remember only mind and not being disturbed by this body, the mind's conscious is very weak, or his observation is very weak. Unless this purification of mind totally in certain kind of serenity, we call that jhana base. If the serenity is right and success, then the illumination or the insight of mind will be present. Then you can check to break this nama, rupa, and conscious in the same time. That is what I learned from the Dharma and understand this mindset in my realization. And we go to another picture. Here is a picture very interesting. I want to share with you all. Just now I talk about this karma of living beings in the samsara. And second part, I talk about the mindset in 12 links, dependent coordination. So another circle is the Buddha, the path and the flute. We call that some Buddha, the enlightened, awakened being. So this mindset have two ways to go. One is the mindset move into the samsara, and the other one is the mindset move to the Buddha, the flute. These are two directions. We in the junction, usually I will see more people or more living beings is moved to the samsara bed. And myself too, a lot of time my mind is moved into the samsara bed and not pulling by the path come to the Buddha, this circle. So my realization is when I'm getting little bit aging and destruction of the body, and body not much what I can do, and burning in the desire, we need to stop something because something is not functioning anymore, especially the new treatment of food, the activity of the body, it becomes reducing energetic, reducing that kind of power. Then what I can learn is mind power. If the body is not work too much, so I cannot make the mind reducing power. So this realization put me into more trainings of mind. Then I found once you become more observe your mind and be present the mind in right now and here, then you will see the mind will be easy to concentrate and easy to be mindful. Once the mindful and concentrate is present moment, then you can see the mind is some connection pulling away from the samsara and more come to the right side, to the path and the Buddha flute. So I will see that this mindset of changing come to the correct path, correct circle, and get it from the other circle become possible. So this is what I write down. This mindset is ... is not a solid circle. It is a circle that like delusion. The pattern is not solid in anything that as a fruit, but it is a reason, it is a cause. One more. Change. I think that my time almost there. I want to say something very real and practical. A conclusion of my talk. Just not long ago, I listened to a talk that mentioned about Western from the religious school become modern university. This is the three principle that religion school have the faith in God, turning into have the faith to science, rationality, and freedom. It starts from England and German. So they have three schools there, two in the German and one in English. Even though today a lot of us already going into the modern university and have the degree there, and knowing that science, rational, and freedom is the value hallmarks. When talking about Dharma, talking about mind freedom, I think Buddhism have a lot of resources. It's very modern science. If modern science perspective can learn a lot from the physical world, from the material world, why they can turn their interest and turn their investigating to mental science and to the mind itself, in order that we learn something and experience some things for the freedom. Here, conclusion. In Buddhism, we always talk about roots. An unpracticed mind, we call that this mindset roots into three unwholesomes: greed, anger, and ignorance, and so on. It can become more details in the perception if we need to go. But that is a root for the samsara. The second root in the mind, we not talk about the exterior pattern obstacle. We talk about the mind pattern. So I have two things in my realization. One is ignorance, volitional formations, and consciousness. This is the root. And right now and here, with mindfulness practice, it still have the root. The root is contact, feeling, craving, clinging, and existence. If you're not aware, suddenly the mindfulness not present, and mindfulness changing, and it becomes not present moment. Then the contact, feeling, craving, clinging, existence is take place. This is called the root. The Buddha or the awakened one also have the root too. It rooted into 5 spiritual faculties and 5 streams. That is the terminology that in Buddhism, in the Dharma, we have. In Chinese, we call them 5 roots and 5 power. So in Venerable Pico Bodhi's translation called 5 spiritual faculties. In in Chinese called 5 root. So confidence, mindfulness, diligence, concentrate, and wisdom. Is called 5 root. And confidence have his own contents in this word. Effort have his own contents. Mindfulness have his own contents. Of course, it is in 4 foundational mindfulness. Concentration have his own content. Of course, that is 4 states of jhana as the basic. Wisdom have its own content from learning, contemplating, and practice. So this is the root. We need to root it very deep, attack this for this body and mind, especially the mindset that we use to strengthen, we use to build up the path connected to the awakening or to the Buddha's fruit of awakening. That's what I want to sharing with you all in these 2 Chinese sentence of my realization. I hope everyone like this talk and like this sharing. Thank you.